Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm John Barbin. With me is Jeff Dover, and let's talk football.
That's right. We're a couple of football fans. We watch football on Saturday and Sunday. That's why the pod's called this. And this is our Michigan-Oklahoma review. What were your initial thoughts of this game?
Boomer sooner.
Yeah.
That's my initial thoughts. Are you kidding me? So John Mateer, there's all these questions. Oh, it's not going to work at a power level or at the big time schools in an SEC. And sure looked like it worked. This guy. So you know who he reminds me of? Okay, I'm going to go with me on this one.
You've been doing this for all of our review pods.
I know.
You're like, you know who this guy reminds me of? This Hall of Famer.
So his style of play, his moxie, his gunslinger thing reminds me of Baker Mayfield, but with way better mobility.
Yeah, well,
maybe not way better, but better than Mayfield. Yeah,
nope, for sure. If you told me going into this game, Mateer was going to have 19 carries and Underwood was going to have 3, I wouldn't have believed you, because that was the whole part with Michigan, is that, Underwood can run and can run well, and they know that, but they're whatever, I guess, according to their game plan, they didn't want to do that this time. But you're absolutely right. The Mateer, I can't believe they got him to run 19 times, because he can sling it. But I guess they're not happy with any of the running backs or something they have. Like Ott was supposed to be better, but I think he only had 4 carries for 9 yards. So crazy that Mateer he had 34 attempts throwing and 19 carries. He's like close to 100% of the offense, which you don't really see nowadays in Division I football.
I mean, coming out of the gates, we're going to assume the Wolverines defense is good. We're going to assume it's a legitimate defense here. You're right. It's all Mateer, and that's got to feel good for Sooner fans, because the kind of the inconsistency, the question mark at quarterback, Venables, we know now that Venables is calling defense, and that's starting to look like a Venables defense too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So that defense is nasty. It's got people. It's got players, and they can move. But Mateer, I think Jesus Christ, that was a really good showing against a good defense. That you got to be happy with what you've got. And if you want to do the straight comparison between him and Underwood just looks slow. Mateer is fast and shifty.
That's interesting. I didn't get that feeling in terms of the running, but what I was going to say was that this is another example. We said this on some previous pods. If you haven't heard, we've done some reviews for some other games. So if you haven't heard them, go check those out. But this is another Mateer, like the QB matching up the offensive coordinator, like staying together, going to another place. And it looks like it's fitting perfectly. And like you said, that people were concerned when are you going to go to the SEC? Is it going to work? But their mix, and it feels like they're on the same page in terms of the offense and what they're trying to accomplish, which is a big deal.
Yeah. So, so talking about the defenses specifically here for a minute, this is another one of my styles of game where there's all hell's breaking loose behind the line of scrimmage, seemingly all game long. Both teams had 8 TFLs.
Yeah, so that's a lot.
These front sevens looked strong. My note just says strong, big, fast, disruptive.
Yes.
Now, maybe in comparison to some other games, it was just obvious. Like these athletes just sort of jumped off the screen, and I'm not even picking any one guy out because it just was over. It just looked different. But Jesus, both defenses look good. So if Mateer is really going to look like this against top competition, we got a team here. The SEC should be. This is my thing, but SEC should be on alert now for Mateer. He's legit.
No, this is the best Oklahoma's looked since Venables been there.
Yeah.
The defense looks like the Venables defense, like you said before. And now finally the offense, they've got something that clicks. There's still some concerns. Like I still think you need to find a running back so that your quarterback doesn't have to run 19 times in a game. But that's something where it's game 2. Like you can still find that. Here's the thing I was going to say about Michigan. So I'm super impressed with their, not just the game plan, but their fact that they stuck with it, because it was super clear early on. They wanted to run the ball. That was it. And if they didn't get a first down, they're fine with punting it back to Oklahoma because they're going to lean on their defense. And when the runs weren't working, they kept with it. And then in the second half, some of those runs started getting longer, started getting some first downs for some runs. And I would never make it as an offensive coordinator, because after a few times those runs not working, I'd be like, that's it, we're doing something else. But it was clear that their plan was to not put Underwood in a bad position, right? Like to say, like, you got to go win this for us. Like, we're going to stick with a run no matter what, set up the play action, like one read. If it's there, take it. If it's not, then you can run. Like, it was a good game plan. And even though they lost, they were in a position to win it. Like, it was in the fourth quarter. It was a one possession game with that limited of offense, because the defense held Oklahoma enough, but the turnover is going to kill you. But anyway, so that was really struck by the game plan of like not putting Underwood in a position to fail. They tried their best.
All right, I'll play the other side of that card, I guess.
Okay.
So Oklahoma outgained them 408 to 288.
Yes.
And 50% of Michigan's offensive total yards came on 3 plays, one of them being that 75-yard run.
Yeah.
So I will counter your argument, and I will say I don't think Michigan's game plan was to get 140 yards for 99% of their plays, and then 3 of them pop for 140. Like, that doesn't, to me, that's not sticking with it. To me, that's you're so limited, you have no other option, and you got lucky on the one.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, there's no way your game plan is to hope for a 75-yard touchdown run.
No, but that's
not a game plan.
No, but the game plan is to run it, and even if you're not getting yards, you're going to stick with it, with the hopes that one of those breaks or they start getting first down runs with it. But I mean, no, I agree to disagree. But it was I think that game plan had a chance to be successful and win the game, versus we're just going to put it all on Underwood and, hope for the best. Because then that could have, I thought they were really doing a good job protecting him to try and make sure that he doesn't make too many mistakes. And that's the only way you can do it, is you sticking with the run no matter what.
Okay.
But you're right. It was that would be, because what did the running back would have had like 50 yards on like 18 carries or something like that.
So yeah, but fans know this. When you see a big like 75 yard, you know that's not actually part of the game plan. And I know the counter argument is, well, they all count, but it's not like for the rest of the year they're going to say, we'll just do that every game and hope for the 75. I bet you that doesn't happen for the rest of the year, unless it's against like a cupcake team. Mm-hmm. They're not going to pop for a 75-yard TD run against all the best teams. Like, this is almost like getting an improbable turnover that wins the game versus it's actually part of the designed offense. So anyway, that's my take on it.
Yeah.
It's kind of unlikely for that to continue happening.
Well, I think that's going to be their game plan going forward. It's going to be like, we're sticking with the run no matter what. We're going to protect Underwood, not put him out there in a position to try and like have to win it, go everything on his shoulders. And I think they'll be able to beat like Central Michigan, Nebraska, Wisconsin. Those are the next games coming up. And I think they're going to be able to do that. And then hopefully by that point, maybe Underwood will feel a bit better throwing the ball around. Because that was something that I will say, to your point, at the end, when they had that game plan, they were going to be conservative, not turn it over. They were one possession game in the fourth quarter. But then it was, at that point, it became like, okay, now we got to throw the ball. And that sort of, I felt like when Oklahoma was like, oh, really? Okay, we're just going to send everyone at you. And then he did not look prepared for that. Mm-mm. So there was, and that's when he looked slow to me, to your point earlier about Mateer. So
like his, okay, so let's do what can we say about these teams? I'll just finish on your point about Michigan, and then we'll close with Oklahoma.
Okay.
Underwood is running capability in this game, just to me, just looks slow. His escapability, I thought, I didn't know much about this guy. This was the first time I really got like a full game serious look at him. Mm-hmm. And to me, the contrast between him and Mateer is like, oh God, this guy's just way slower. Like, he just doesn't have that wiggle to make it happen. I just thought he's so huge. Maybe I thought I'm looking at Lenore Sellers, Byron Brown type freak show, like with that kind of, or even Alex Orji. He doesn't have any of those guys' moves. And so I guess the point is he's eventually going to be a good pocket passer. Not yet. And he had 9 completions.
I know.
And on 24 attempts, that's not good. And no interceptions. But if anyone who was paying attention to this game, he was missing wide open players and choosing the wrong person. Like a few times, there was people where if he it seemed as though he had enough time, and he's a big enough guy. He could probably do the Ben Roethlisberger once someone's on him. He still could buy himself another half second. He's just so huge.
Right.
And he just again, we're asking way too much of a true freshman to have that kind of savvy and that kind of poise and see the open guy while the pockets collect. Like all of that stuff, it might be coming in the future, but it's not now, and not against this defense. Like this is the wrong defense to be charitable to Underwood. We can't really pass too much judgment on him against this defense, because I think this defense is like a top 10 defense this year in the country.
Yeah.
And what did you expect this guy to do here? I think you're totally right. The coaches are like, we're going to live and die on the run. Give him a few obvious one read and go things. But other than that, expecting him to read this, I mean, with the havoc that was going on in this game, it's not likely he was going to do much better than this.
No, I agree. The only thing, I agree with everything you said. The only thing that surprised me a little bit is that they wouldn't have just a few more designed runs for him, because he can run it. And I think he looked slow because that was more of the decision-making thing. Like, am I going to run it now or not, or should I pass? And so I think if there was more, I'm taking this ball and I'm going to run with it right now, I think he would have looked a bit better. And it's just surprising that he didn't have more runs. Like, it was 3 runs for -1 yards, but I don't think they were designed runs. Like, most of them weren't. So that was a little surprise to me, but maybe that's part of the protection thing, because it's game 2 of your like true freshman in the, going forward. But yeah, no, everything else. So hopefully I feels like the skills are there, and it's just that he'll get better as the year goes on, is what I'm hoping. So.
Yeah, well, we'll see. That seems like a future thing, not a this year thing for him and this team. But the defense is all there. All right, so moving on to Oklahoma here. Let's finish off on Oklahoma. Mateer looked awesome. He got out of so much trouble with his legs and his shifting. Like, there was so many times where a Michigan defender, somebody in the front 7, either beat their man or there was a breakdown on the offensive line and somebody came through clean. Like, I'd say, I want to say about a half a dozen times, somebody had an open shot at him, and he had the wiggle to get out of that every single time and either make something out of nothing, get either positive yards, or not take a massive loss. So his escapability kept them ahead in this game, kind of like at all times. Like, he was constantly getting out of trouble, and they lost the turnover battle 2-0.
Yes.
And still won the game and put him away kind of pretty handily here. So there's lots to like here. There's obviously lots to clean up, but it also could be Michigan's defensive line's just that good. Yeah. And they were just constantly getting through.
Yeah, no, I think that, so those are excellent points. So Mateer had 34 pass attempts, also had 19 carries, and was also running for his life from the defensive lineman. So the good news for Oklahoma fans is, like, that guy's awesome. He was able to be all of your passing and run game, while running for his life, which is awesome. The bad news is that you've got one guy that was everything and running for his life from the offensive line. Like, that's not going to be tenable going forward. So that's another running back has to get more, separate himself, and the offensive line has to get better. Otherwise, like, he's not going to make it the whole season like that.
Yeah. Well, we're week 2, and they get the signature win of week 2. This was obviously the biggest game of the week. And
arguably biggest win of Venables' career, and it sets up nicely now. They got an at Temple game, Oklahoma next, then they host Auburn, which is now all of a sudden going to be that could be a sneaky, like, both QBs run for over 15 attempts now going into one. So it's whichever QB can run the best will decide that winner maybe. So and then they've got the Red River shootout after that,
that's right, and it'll always be the shootout. All right, well, I think that's all we got for this one. You got anything else?
No, that's good.
All right, well, we appreciate you being here. If you're still watching, we know our channel's small. We just started it last year, so we're trying our best here. Let us know in the comments, like, is there a point that we missed on either team that you were like, just say the goddamn thing, and we kind of didn't get to the one that you stuck out to you? That's just what stuck out to us. And I guess great win for Oklahoma. And I don't know. that was a good one. Biggest one of the weekend.
Yeah, I liked watching that game.
Yep. All right. So for Jeff Dover, I'm John Barban, and that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.